Hello, thank you so much for visiting me today. I am doing an interactive card hop with a few friends of mine, which is a bit of a challenge for me because aside from shaker cards and perhaps a couple of pretty simple interactive cards, I don't typically make them. I love seeing interactive cards, I love seeing fun fold cards, things like that, but for me, they are not easy. I struggle with them. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge, but we're going to get through it together and you're going to get to see some brand new products today. I am really excited, besides just doing this interactive card hop with some of my best friends in the crafty world, I am also a part of the release of the Kawaii Cuties collection from Stamp Anniething. I'm sure you haven't seen these babies before because they're not even available for sale yet as of the posting date of this YouTube video. They will be available starting on September 25th, and this collection is filled with such adorable little creatures and imagery, and there's a ton of dies that you can use with them. Not only are there coordinating dies, which as you can see cut everything out absolutely perfectly, there are also two interactive dies, and we're going to be using one of them today. So this set is called Let's Gather, and we're going to be using that with the pop-up stage die. I wanted to show you, and I apologize that this is on a pre-production sheet, but I wanted to have everything laid out for you so that you can see just how many dies you get with the set. It's even got the little tiny acorns right here, and then besides that, and again, I apologize, this is on a pre-production card, but it was nice and easy for me to show it to you this way. This is the pop-up stage die. So this is going to be our interactive piece, and then you need these other pieces to kind of finish it off. So we're going to make that today, and I took the time to obviously pre-color, and I also pre-cut everything, and this is going to be the card that we're making, believe it or not. So I have one here. I cut it out in a cream color just to kind of show you. I thought it might show up a little bit easier. We are going to wind up folding this thing, and you just kind of have to follow the lines that are in here. You're going to wind up going around like this. This goes in here. This piece goes here, and then we're going to wind up with a little stage. And then if you notice on my brown piece, I have a couple of slits cut out. That die comes with the set as well. And that is so that you can pop up your little critters or trees or whatever it is that you have, stamped out and ready to go. So we're going to start building this together. So first I'm going to fold this down, and I have a bone folder here just to make my lines a little bit crisper. We're going to fold this like this. We're going to fold this in like so. Fold it in again, and the score lines are all there for you when you cut the die. The only thing that you have to do on your own, so to speak, is figure out where you want those slits to be for your characters or your scene. Folding all of this in, and that's going to create the stage like so. And then these pieces are going to fold in. Now you have two dotted lines here. You're going to fold this in once, and then you're going to fold this up, and it's going to have the stage sort of set down into the piece once you have everything adhered. So again, we're going to fold it down like so, and then fold it back up again. And you want to really make sure that you have a nice crisp edge here. And then you also have the tabs that you need to fold in as well. That's one side, and then we have the other side that we need to just fold in like so. And then this will go sort of like that. Whoops, this is the bottom and this is the top because I have my slits cut into it. So now we're going to have to tape everything together. And there are a couple of ways to do this. You can either start by doing this piece here. You could start by gluing the top and bottom of the frame here if you want to. What's going to wind up happening is it's going to affect the way you add your pieces into here. So we're just going to play around with it and see which way we like best. So in addition to this piece, you need to cut these as well. This of course comes with the set as well. And this is so that you can have your pieces standing up. Okay. And then in addition to that, I also cut the same imagery again in brown so that we can back it so that we have a nice clean image. And you can see here that the tree trunk is significantly skinnier than this tab piece. You can trim that down if you'd like to. So I am going to, off camera, figure out the heights of all of the things that I'm going to add, and then we'll start adhering everything together. I've added all of my little pieces onto the tabs, just like so, and I cut away the excess as best as I could so that it wouldn't show. So even with the trees, you can see that it's backed with brown, and I cut away the excess from the tab so that it wouldn't show when our finished piece is all put together. So what we need to do now is glue everything together. So it's recommended that you glue these parts first. What's going to happen is this is going to sort of create a step down to the stage. So I used some 1/8 of an inch Scor Tape. You can use liquid adhesive as long as it's strong, but I didn't want to have to wait for it to dry. And Scor Tape is nice and strong, so I am just going to peel off the release paper here, and we're going to get this sort of together, just like so. And that is going to have a bit of a dip in our stage. So it's going to be below sort of the platform. Okay, so now we need to just put everything else together. And there are different ways you can do this. You can attach your tab here first. You can attach these pieces to the one it's going to be opposite first. It's really up to you. I think that what I'm going to do now is attach the pieces here to the one that's opposite it. I think that that might be a little bit easier for me. Again, I don't do interactive cards too often because I struggle with them a bit. So I think that having this piece open right now is going to make it a little bit easier for me. So I'm just getting that in place. I'm going to remove the release paper from this side and then get this one in place. Now you don't want to have it right here at the top because again, this side is inset. Let's see if I can get that to focus a little bit for you. There we go. So we want to have it step down just a little bit, just so that it's a little bit lower than the top, okay? And what's going to happen is when this is flat in your envelope, it's going to just squish out like that. So I'm just going to squeeze this down a little bit, make sure everything is adhered properly. And now we can either close this piece off or we can assemble our tabbed areas. And I think that it might be a little easier to just assemble our tabbed pieces first than closing the whole box off. So I have my little turkey here. He's going to sit right here in the front, and you need to make sure that you leave enough of the tab at the bottom so that you can fold it under so that it will attach to your base. So he's going to sit there, and I'm going to give myself some extra room. And of course you can use these excess pieces for more, characters and such if you want to. This might be a little bit long, so we're going to fit this in here because I don't want it to interfere with this piece here. I'm going to actually make my fold a little bit higher, excuse me, so that it's right at that tree stump. And you can use your bone folder too if you want to sort of make a better crease. And then just slip that in there like so. And it's interfering a bit, so I'm going to remove, can you see how it's interfering a bit? I'm going to remove that. I apologize that it's a little bit blurry. There we go. I'm going to remove that excess piece. Just cutting it back a little bit. So then we'll need to have glue on this portion here so that when he goes in, he'll just sit right there like so. For my tree, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just cut a piece off like so, and I'm going to bend it. Now, this trunk is pretty thin, so we have to be sort of gentle with it so that it doesn't rip. That's going to sit in there like so. How cute is that? We're building a little scene, and I think I'm actually going to wind up moving this over as much as I can to the side. That's what's nice about having these wide slits, and that's what the die does on automatically. So this way you can move your pieces wherever you want them to be. And then we're going to repeat the same thing with the third tree, and then get some adhesive on the folded area so that it will sit nicely. So I'm just going to fold this. This is definitely too long because it's going to wind up hitting back here, so I'm going to trim this off. You can also have it fold to the front if you want a little bit more support, because it will be a little shorter here, so maybe we'll do it that way. We'll fold that one to the front. You can, if you want to, even have two of these tabs, one going in the first and forwards direction and one going backwards, so this way it helps support your piece even further. But that's optional. And I think that that looks really cute. So I'm going to get some adhesive on here, and then we'll glue everything together. I put my Scor tape on all of my pieces, and I removed the release paper just so that you don't have to watch me struggle. And we're going to start adhering our little pieces inside of the pop-up die. So we're going to push this on here. I started with the turkey because he is the star of the show. And then I'm going to use my first tree over here, and I'm pushing it all the way to the right on this. Adhering that, just pushing it down. That's why I think it's a benefit to sort of leave that last tab open, because you can really get in here and make sure that everything is nice and sticky. Now this one we put the tab going forwards instead of back, just so that it had a little bit more room. I'm going to shove that into the slot and make sure we like where it is, and I think that we do. And that is a very cute little scene that we have here. So now the next thing is we are going to just adhere this tab. This is the last piece. I think that flattening it out is probably best. Let's see if that'll help. You know what's happening is my tab inside is getting a little stuck to this fold, the score line. So I'm just going to pinch it with my fingers to kind of help it bend correctly. There we go. And now it's nice and flat. We can attach that piece together. Make sure everything will lay nice and flat so that it will fit in a regular A2 sized envelope, and then we can pop it up, and there is our sweet little card. But it can certainly use a little bit more embellishing. So along with this die set, you will see that there is a square, and that square is meant to fit in here so that you have some decorations that you can add. So I pre-cut all of this, And I'm just going to adhere these around the edge for a little bit more fun. Everything is now adhered, and I added a little happy fall, which is part of the sentiment that are in this set, and I just used a hexagon die that was already in my stash just because it kind of mimicked the hexagon that is the shape of the stage. So now we have this sweet little card that will fold nice and flat. You can stick it right into an envelope, and then the recipient can just kind of squeeze everything together, get everything to stand, and you have this adorable little scene. And you can add as many little components as you like just by adding extra slits or cutting down the width of the tab. And I think that this came out adorable. Not bad for somebody that doesn't really do interactive cards. This is not a difficult die to work with, and I'm really excited about that because that means I can do some more interactive cards. I love the dimension that you can get with this. It's super cute. So please make sure that you hop along to the rest of my friends. If you've noticed, we've been doing a little YouTube hop every month together. All of their YouTube channels will be listed below in the description box, as well as the links to the products that I've used. The Kawaii Cuties will not have individual listings at the first time of posting this video, simply because they are not live as of yet, but they will be live on September 25th. So after that, I should have the correct links to each of the items. So I hope that you enjoyed this adorable little card today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and don't forget to hop along to everyone else. Stay safe, be well, peace out.